Thank you for joining XROM, which is India's first AR VR focused podcast. And today I'm delighted and honored to have with me Mr. Prafulla Mathur, who's a co-founder at Queppelin and currently the co-founder at Vossle. He also hosts the new podcast titled The Metaverse Guy, and which the link is right here below. And I think everybody should check it out because I think it's very, very interesting. So Prafulla, welcome to the show. So why don't we start with a small introduction, a background, who you are and what you do.
Thank you so much, Eddie. First of all, let me take this opportunity to thank you for inviting me over the show. A quick background about me. I have been an entrepreneur for the last 11 years, especially in the metaverse industry or the deep tech industry. And Queppelin was my first company that I started way back in 2010. And that company has there for last 11 years now, very focused on all the metaverse-based technologies, platforms. And Queppelin basically creates and develops a number of platforms which essentially help people create metaverse-based experiences. So Queppelin would basically create platforms in the augmented reality space, in the virtual reality space, creating metaverse-based universes, creating artificial intelligence, creating NFTs, NFT marketplaces, blockchain networks, so on and so forth. So Queppelin, as I said, started in 2010, and Queppelin has now launched, and we've now launched this platform called Vossle, which is the new company that we co-founded, and we launched Vossle about a year ago, so early 2021. And Vossle basically is a do-it-yourself SaaS platform to create web-based augmented reality, essentially targeting two things. One, any augmented reality so far was largely native augmented reality, which means that people have to first download an application on their phones, and then they will be able to see augmented reality, which is okay for a game like Pokemon Go, which the user is going to play for 500, 600 times. However, for many other, in fact, other primary use cases like marketing campaigns, like e-commerce product visualizations in augmented reality, in education space, uh, it becomes an impediment. People don't want to download an application in these cases. And hence, we have now launched Vossle, which creates web-based augmented reality, completely eliminating the step of installing anything on your phone. So as soon as your user has an intent to see augmented reality experience, they see it right from their mobile phone browser itself. All the mobile phones, all smartphones have browsers inbuilt, so no need to download any third-party application to do that. So that's Vossle in a nutshell for you. And with Vossle today, we work with, we essentially allow thousands of creators to create their augmented reality experiences, right from early stage startups, freelancers, to very large global companies like Unilever, who are now using our platform to create web-based augmented reality.
Why don't we unpack a little bit? When you said what Queppelin did was allow people to create a platform. So what do you mean by that? Could you just unpack that?
Okay. So think of it this way. One of the platforms that we launched as Queppelin, that platform is called Gather in VR, which essentially allows people to create metaverses without writing even a single line of code. So with Gather in VR, you can create virtual reality based meeting solutions. You can create virtual reality based exhibition halls, seminars, retail showrooms, etc. And for doing this, you do not have to write even a single line of code. And the platform allows your users to enter your metaverse right from any of the devices that they might have. So if your customer has a virtual reality headset, amazing, they'll get a 100% immersive experience. But if they do not, our platform does not restrict your customers. If even if they have a laptop with them, they can enter our metaverse through a laptop or a mobile phone as well. And all of this again through their browser itself. So there is no need to download any application to enter the metaverse. Gather in VR will allow you to do that. So hence, A number of companies today use our solution to either have exhibitions or have their retail platforms for their customers, or have meeting platforms wherein their sales teams meet their potential customers, etc., and use our platform to enable their teams to achieve. So these are kind of platforms that Queppelin launches, which businesses can use in turn to create their metaverse, AR, VR, NFT kind of experience.
Lovely. How cool is that? We're getting into a world where a creative person will not be restricted from expressing himself or herself, because most of these creative people, they are a little tech averse, and a low code, no code platform will allow anybody and everybody to create whatever they want. Would you want to break that down a little further when you talk about Gather in VR allows you to, meet, create events, retail businesses, conferences. What have been the best possibly use cases, and what has been the customer reaction?
Okay, so let me take it this way. There's this large British company who uses our platform to enable their customers come into their retail showroom, look at various mobile phones, various laptops, various smartwatches inside this showroom itself, and all of this while sitting in their own living rooms. They do not even have to step out of their homes and come into this retail showroom physically, but they get an experience as if they are in that physical store. And because all of this has been digitally created, every pixel of this universe you can use for something. It could be a utility you are giving to your customer, or it could be, let's say, if there's a wall, you can make that into a digital wall which is running some sort of an advertisement for you. And when the user enters this physical space, they are just wowed with all the experiences that you are giving to them. So it's a sheer delight for a customer to be able to see so much more that they are able to see in a physical store in general. Okay. And that sort of a wow factor then converts into people becoming your paying customers, because they now feel more happy about you. And this is true for both virtual reality based metaverses or augmented reality based experiences that we create on Vossle. What you see, and there is a general study about this as well, that if you can make your customer happy while they have an intent of purchase, if the customer is happy looking at your brand, they are 14 times more likely to buy your product. So this way, you see a lot of conversions happening as well. We did a campaign, we did a WebAR-based campaign for a company in Southeast Asia. And what we realized there was that in any given 6 weeks' time, they got the highest sales ever for them. And this is because the customer was engaging with the brand, their augmented reality campaign, for upwards of 1.5 minutes in each interaction. Now, a typical number for that in marketing campaigns is 5 to 10, 15 seconds at max. Okay. Now, if you compare that to 1.5 minutes on an average, it's a ridiculously high number. And if your customer is with you and is looking at your campaign, looking at your product, interacting with your product and brand for that long a period, they are much more likely to buy your product now. That this is that holy grail that all the marketeers were looking for.
Explain to my audience, possibly simplify it as layman's term. What is the metaverse, and what's the value addition over there, the economical value?
So, putting it very simply, Eddie, my favorite definition of metaverse is that it is the newest version of internet, third to be precise, wherein you are inside of this internet, you are immersed inside of this. How is it? See, the first version of the internet was more like an information highway, wherein somebody would put some information up for people to see. They would come on that domain URL, they would read that information, and it was mostly like that. That was a great revolution. Look at where we are because of that happening at some point in time. The second coming of the internet was wherein a lot of interaction was added to this, and hence you see things like social media, so on and so forth. And in doing all of that, a lot of big tech monopolies got made. Now, in the third version of this internet, the amazing thing that is happening is one, of course, you get to be inside this. You get to be immersed in this whole internet and what is happening around. Plus, the additional benefit this time is that this internet or metaverse is basically allowing everybody to participate in the whole economy as well. Now, this is becoming more of a creator's economy rather than a tech monopoly driven economy. In Internet 2.0, there were companies who would hold all of your data and control all of your data, and they would do whatever they wanted to with that data. They could sell it to advertisers, so on and so forth. Now with Metaverse, you become a stakeholder of this. Now, for an example, take Decentraland, an amazing implementation of Metaverse-based technologies, and not only technologies, the whole concept of Metaverse. Now, Decentraland is a DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization, which essentially means that everybody is actually a stakeholder of this. There is no one central authority who would be guiding what are the policies of this metaverse. Everybody who's inside of this is a stakeholder of this, and they have a say in what would happen and what needs to happen in that universe. So that ways, my personal feel is that we are witnessing a sea change here. And whatever kind of revolution we saw due to Internet 1.0, it's 100x that because of all the technologies combining here. So I completely agree with you with how you defined metaverse, wherein the fabric of this universe or the metaverse is basically provided by augmented and virtual reality. So this fabric basically gives you an opportunity to come inside of this internet, and then the economy of this universe or this metaverse is driven by NFTs and blockchains. These are the currencies, these are the digital currencies which define and derive your economy in metaverses. And finally, in the more advanced stages of metaverse, you would see a lot of artificial intelligence also getting combined with this, which will drive a lot of interaction too. So currently the interaction is when I participate into a metaverse, I log into that metaverse, I go there, I talk to people, I play games there, I buy and sell stuff there. But going further in the advanced stages, there would be a lot of artificial intelligence also built in. So many times it could happen that who I'm interacting with is actually an AI bot. So all those kind of things coming in together are giving amazing opportunities to people to participate and to benefit out of all this. And that's my opinion. I think we are in for an amazing time.
Lovely.
This is
Yeah,
an industrial revolution all over again.
completely. I completely double whatever you said, and you said it in such plain, simple, clear words. And I hope to my listeners, everybody understands. I'm just going to double stress what you said. That this next internet revolution, the spatial web or Web 3.0, will allow everybody to participate. And this, like you said, instead of just the tech companies which were benefiting, who've been holding our data, this will allow anybody and everybody, especially the creators, to flourish. So far, the creators have always have been had to just be okay with the likes. 100 likes, 5,000 likes, or 10,000 likes, while the money was being the monetary value was taken by the social media companies, and so and so. But this is a complete game changer. You are participating, your creators will get incentivized. These platforms which you are building, such as Vossle, will allow anybody and everybody to participate. You don't necessarily need to be technologically brilliant. You can just Yes, you have to be a lifelong learner and a curious person, because there is so much awesome things happening. And you also mentioned that the future is going to be really excellent. With artificial intelligence coming in, there'll be digital avatars, digital twins, and they will have more capabilities to do stuff. Your digital avatars will do things for you. So it's an exciting world, and I think everybody needs to participate. Would you like to kind of unpack on the economical value, not just for the digital the content creators, but for the entire world, as a physical business? What are the values, the economical value that a metaverse holds?
That's actually a great question, and there is actually multiple aspects with which people can earn money out of a metaverse. First and foremost, you already see a number of NFTs being bought and sold, and you would imagine that everything before becoming a mainstream thing follows a hype cycle as well. So that you can kind of factor in those hype cycles, so on and so forth. However, you would agree with me that there is a lot of value in the NFT space. And why this is this? So the starting value anything that gets comes from the posting value of that. Let's be very clear on that. Okay. However, that's just the beginning. The long-term value that you create with any asset class is when society at large starts believing in that as an asset class, which is very similar to how gold has its value. Now extrapolate this to a land decentralized sandbox or any other metaverses. Let's say there are a fixed number of land parcels available in these metaverses, and you as a landowner, let's say you purchase an NFT of this land, and now you start building some sort of a structure and an application on this. Let's say that application is a game, and people would come to your land. They would come to the building that you've created. They'll come inside and pay you to play the games that you have created there. Or it could be a retail showroom wherein people come inside and they buy the items that you're selling there. Or let's say you create a concert hall. You are an artist and you create a concert hall and you do your live shows there. People come inside, they buy your tickets and come inside and listen to you play. Now you have a global audience. Even if you are not the biggest of the stars, even if you are not Rihanna's or the Jay-Z's of the world, but you still have a global audience out there who can come and participate in your concert happening. So that is where a lot of value will also get created in the years to come. So there will be first a hype cycle, and then we will see an organic growth happening in the metaverses. So NFT buying and selling, or land parcel buying and selling, developing those lands, and letting people come and use your services on those metaverse lands would see a lot of value getting created. Along with that, there would be a lot of advertisement in this space as well. So if you, let's say, create a music hall wherein there's a live concert going on, you would have a number of sponsors who would want to have their billboards up there because millions of people come and watch your concert. So that ways a lot of value will get created as well. And along with all of this, all the creators, and that is exactly why I said it's a creators economy, all the creators of the metaverse, all the developers, all the graphic designers, all the 3D modelers, animators, etc., all of them would be the people who would actually be building all of that for businesses, and they will get benefited because they are providing these services. So you see, along the way, everybody is getting benefited from this. I think that's a very big power for any revolution.
Would you like to unpack NFTs, because it is a little, misunderstood at this point in time? So would you like to unpack NFTs, non-fungible tokens?
Sure. First of all, it's important to realize what a non-fungible token even means. The basic definition is, let's say, let's first understand what is a fungible token or what is even a fungible asset. If I can, let's say, if I give you a Bitcoin and you give me a Bitcoin in return, we are even. There is no actually value that has been transferred from one end to the other, and hence it's a fungible token. However, if I do that with an NFT, if I give you one NFT and you give me another NFT, we're not even. This NFT could be of some other value, and what you give to me could be of some other value. Each NFT is unique in its own right, and hence it is called a non-fungible token. Now, how do you create them? You take any digital asset. It could be an image, it could be a multimedia song, video, whatever it is, and you attach a smart token behind that. A smart token basically is riding over a blockchain network, and it basically gives a stamp of uniqueness to this digital asset, image, or whatever you have. Now you can always know what is the source of this image. You can always know who owns this in a particular blockchain. And that makes this asset, this image or video or audio, that makes it as an NFT. Now we discuss about people creating NFTs, buying and selling them. But how do they do that? So there are a number of NFT marketplaces out there like OpenSea, Rarity, etc. And there can be multiple types of NFT marketplaces as well. The ones that I just mentioned are called multi-vendor NFT marketplaces, which essentially means that many vendors can come in here, make their NFTs and sell on this NFT marketplaces. There are single vendor NFT marketplaces as well. For an example, Gary he has a very interesting project out there. He calls it Gary's Friends, I guess. And it's a single vendor marketplace wherein Gary uploads his NFTs. People buy those NFTs, and with those NFTs, they get an access to the conferences and seminars that he is organizing. And different NFTs have different access levels attached to them. There are very interesting implementations that people are coming up with. So these are basically single vendor and multi-vendor NFT marketplaces that we talk about. And then we can go a little more detail in terms of what are the protocols. So there's an ERC 721 that you attach to this digital asset for it to become uh, 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 an NFT. And it could be an Ethereum based NFT, it could be a Solana based NFT, and others as well. But that's for some other time. We can go deeper and deeper. But basically, this is NFT, and this is how they are being bought and sold in the market.
Lovely. Thank you for explaining, Prafulla, because I mean, the NFT is going to open up the economic layer for the metaverse where you could create things, trade, sell, and create, like you said, utility onto those layers, like accessibility, like Gary Vaynerchuk is creating. So there's so much awesome opportunity over here. Vossle, would you like to talk about the pricing plan? And can you share examples of content which is being built by third party and what has been their response?
Certainly. In fact, before that, let me also tell you why there is a value to any platform like Vossle, why no code is a very big thing today, and why no code is that phenomena that is making this creator economy come true. So, and this is my often quoted example. I like this a lot. Think of it this way: when websites started becoming a thing, okay, so early 2000s, 99, early 2000, when anybody had to create a website, they had to hire a developer who would use a .NET or a Java to create websites. It was very dependent on somebody knowing these languages, and people had to hire them, pay them really well. It was very expensive to do it. Then come 2004, 5, wherein a lot of no-code platforms like your Wix.com or Shopify came in, which allowed people to create their websites without writing any code. And there was a hockey stick curve growth in terms of the number of billions of new websites started coming in because the dependence on the developers had gone. This is exactly what Vossle and Vossle-like platforms are solving for the metaverse industry. The dependence on the developer or knowing that skill set of development That is gone, and that is why a lot of creators can now just come in, quickly make an account on Vossle, and start creating your augmented reality experiences. The pricing that we have is pretty simple and standard. We charge so if you first sign up, there's a free trial of 30 days, which also allows you 100 views of what you create, and there is no limit of how many experience you can create on Vossle. Beyond 100 views, you are then charged $99 per month. And in $99, we allow you to create as many experiences, and there is a cap on number of views. So 10,000 views is what we cap it at. And beyond 10,000 views, we charge $0.01 per view. It's a standard, package plus, you exceed the view limit, we charge it on that. Very standard, simple package.
Lovely, lovely. And thank you for explaining no code. And apology for not asking you that, because possibly I thought it's too simple. But I think it's so very important to make people understand about low code, no code, the future that we are getting into. And there's so many exciting things and movements happening towards low code no code. There is this traditional education system which is, at least the parents, teachers are going bonkers and pushing them towards the coding school and things like that. But the future, what's coming, is largely going to be low code and no code, and there's going to be a simplification of things, and you guys are playing a role into that. I'm not saying that coding is not important. Yes, it is, but I think there is so many other things also which is important, rather than just pushing your kid towards a coding school, and at least here I'm seeing that there are parents pushing kids at the age of 5 and 6. So tell me about the platform that you've built, Vossle. The experiences that people have built, what have been their responses after?
Can give you a few examples, which might explain this a little bit more. Very recently, there's a furniture e-commerce company called Studio Homey, and they are from Argentina, and they operate in Argentina and US. And they have this platform wherein they sell a lot of furniture online. People come to their website, they see the product, and they buy it from there. Now with Vossle, they have allowed their customers to view their furniture items in the user's own reality. People directly from Studio Homey's website can see how a couch or how a chair or a table looks inside their homes, inside their offices, and make see this for themselves, make an informed decision before buying. So this way, the benefit is twofold. One, the customer is really happy because this time the customer is in the know. It's not that whenever I'll get this item is only when I'll exactly get to know how it looks in my home. That's one. But because the customer is making an informed decision here, there are much less returns and refunds, which really helps the e-commerce company as well, because you make a big loss when somebody is returning and you have to give a refund, so on and so forth. So Studio Humi has been a great example who's using Vossle as their tech stack for augmented reality. Apart from that, there's this indie artist management company from India who are using Vossle to. So basically, what they do is they manage a lot of indie artists, a lot of indie musicians, who and they manage the artists, they manage their album launches, they promote the albums, so on and so forth. With Vossle now, what they are doing is they're launching all the albums from now on in augmented reality. So the artist comes in front of the user, sings his song, and talks about this album that they're launching. Gives another perspective to the fans. So basically, you are now converting your customers into fans and your fans into customers, and that's an amazing proposition for anybody.
So my last question to you. Think that you're sitting in 2032, which is 10 years from now. Paint a world, or paint an India, how India would look in 2032, and what are the opportunities everyone should look for and be ready for that world.
Amazing. And that's one of the topics which I'm very interested in. I believe because of the whole augmented reality, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, NFT, all getting combined, we are headed towards a world which is very different from what we see today. And again, I'm not being, uh, non-practical here. Let's not overestimate in short run and underestimate in the long run. Okay. In the next 10, 15 years, we are looking at an entirely different world wherein, let's say, let's take a very small example. I'm not even going in terms of, definitely we'll be working in hybrid environments wherein, some days I'll work out of my home with my virtual reality headset that I'm getting with my team across the globe, and all of us are sitting inside one room. That's everybody knows that. But even simpler things, for an example, if I'm getting my home redone, the interiors redone, I will go to a furniture e-commerce website, see a chair there or a couch there, see how it looks in my room from through augmented reality through my phone, send this augmented reality experience to my interior designer, who will then take it and put it in a virtual reality environment with everything together and send me that experience, that this is the overall interior that you will be looking at once this new chair has been put in. So basically, we're looking at an interoperability of augmented reality with virtual reality, and probably then I will pay through a blockchain network and buy this chair, which comes to me, gets delivered with all the other things in my physical space. So, and once I get this chair, maybe this is a recliner which I sit on and attend the concert of my favorite artist. I'm a lifelong fan of a band called Led Zeppelin, and one of the only regrets I have in my life is that I was not born at a time when these guys were playing. But who's to say in future I might be attending a Led Zeppelin concert in a metaverse and my wish just comes true. So with a metaverse, think beyond what is possible. It's a world wherein the rules of this world do not apply. It's not that you cannot fly in a metaverse. Maybe some metaverse allows to do that. So that's where we are headed. And in my mind, I think ultimately it is all going towards that various metaverses that are being built today will also start coming together. There will be a lot of interoperability between them. So augmented reality combined with virtual reality and all the metaverses are coming together as well. So I might have an avatar in Decentraland, which I created through a Vossle augmented reality experience, and then I take it to a sandbox where I buy something and come back to Roblox to play a game. All of that is going to happen, and all of this while working on my next project. all
Lovely.
of all of this would be combined. There will be no, I think there will be no boundaries of what a Sunday or a Wednesday is. You do what you want to do at any given day, any given time.
Prafulla, thank you. It was a complete pleasure to talk to you and understand your views and your vision. It and this is a very, I mean, it's not something which is far out. This is because everybody is putting the building blocks together, though we still have the problems with interoperability. There is, you cannot move from one place to another, but I guess that will be sorted. Like I said, I mean, we are working towards a decentralized world. We saying it's going to be decentralized, but it's still centralized. Even the platforms which say they are decentralized. But I hope that, I mean, whatever you said falls in place, because that's what the metaverse is supposed to be, a decentralized, interoperable, persistent platform. And I hope that comes together, because once that falls together, there will be so much opportunity. The digital world will finally give anybody and everybody an equal opportunity, and that's what I am excited for. And that's the reason I do this podcast, so that I can create awareness and bring more non-believers to turn into believers. So thank you, Prafulla. Wish you and your team at Vossle and Queppelin the very best. Didn't know about the Zeppelin link. I used to play for a band for 20 years. So yeah, so wish you the very best. Wish you a lot of success. And to my listeners, if you like what you see in here, then please press the subscribe button. Until next time, see you guys.